Ladies and gentlemen, World Cup 2023. Nice to see you guys. We are live here on the Lone Wolf Paintball in Kissimmee, Florida, just underneath the shadow of the Gaylord Palms. My name is Todd Ansich. Thank you for tuning in. I'm from Behind the Bunker Paintball Podcast, and with me I have Matt Falby.
Good morning, everybody. This is Matt Falby. I am from AG Tech on YouTube. You can find me there. It is wonderful to be back. So, for starting off the day, we got a good match between BZ and Indians. Indians out of France. BZ Fearless. I'm not sure where they're located, to be really honest, but they're here now, and that's what's important.
They're in Pit 1, actually.
Pit 1. Okay. We're going dad jokes right off the bat, folks. This is what you get.
You asked, you get. So both teams are lining up on the field right now. We have BZ Fearless on your left, Indians on your right. Indians are going to be in the red jerseys, and I'm told that the Indian jerseys are not necessarily advertised properly. Their names aren't necessarily who they are for everybody. Some maybe yes, some maybe no, so we'll do our best with what we see out there.
So would it be inappropriate for me to call every player Chief?
Chief. Yeah, there you go. Captain.
So we are staring directly into a sun that's kind of crossing over the 50. That's going to be a thing that teams, especially snake players trying to look Dorito side, are going to have to deal with for the next hour or so.
Yeah, and the same thing happened at the last match. But generally for the rest of the day, we should be okay.
Yeah.
Weather today, ladies and gentlemen, is, sunny, warm, and going to get up as high as 31 degrees. So hopefully the athletes are prepared. They're hydrated. I know even yesterday as a commentator, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I was dehydrated.
Wow.
And I could barely keep up. So
peak of athletic performance right here out of Todd.
You know, and it's just me sitting here. I wasn't even playing, right? So hopefully the athletes are in better shape than we were.
We got about 30 seconds to the match start. Any expectations that you see out of this field?
Well, snake side again. We saw snake play all day yesterday. First one usually gets in, gets usually a couple kills. So
here we go. BZ Fearless on my left, Indians on my right. Fearless with a relatively pocket breakout. Nobody went too far. 2 at home.
The Indians lose their first player out of the snake insert.
So 5-on-4.
You can definitely tell which way every player is shooting by the gas coming out of their barrel that's visible.
So morning humidity.
Yeah.
BZ goes ahead and takes that snake insert or God bunker, meaning they're getting ready to drop into the snake.
Indians lose their back can, but also fill into Dorito 2.
So we're 5-on-3 right now. Advantage BZ.
We lose another Indian player out of Dorito 2 and left down to 2 left, 1 at home and 1 in the center tower.
If they're keeping track of the score, it might be time to tell. There's not much to... A 5-on-2, it's pretty difficult to pull that one out.
You never know. Could be Ollie Lang and Ryan Greenspan playing for them, and that's the last 2 players.
I'm going to check my rosters. BZ just locking it down now. At this point, they're not going to do any. They shouldn't do any crazy moves. There's not much reason to. I think their snake insert player is getting itchy feet. I expect to see him jump from the snake here soon.
Yeah.
There he goes. He stands up. He's definitely prepped. BZ starting to spread the backfield, and BZ into the snake. First player walking off the back line for BZ. So we're 4-on-2. Up the middle to the wedge for Fearless.
Indian sees the snake play.
Ooh, I am very wrong about it. I'm very wrong about the towel. Another Fearless player walking off. So we're down to 3-on-2.
Yeah.
Commentators curse.
If he would have toweled it, that would have been a Falby. So we're left with 1 Indian player. He is at home.
He's about to get bunkered.
Towel being called. Good call by the Indians.
All right, well, good first match by Fearless. They need to set the tone, get their day rolling. Next up, we're going to have GG Factory versus Joebar. They are another French team, so pronunciation of Joebar might be something more exotic than what I'm pronouncing it as.
So the Indians appear to be from the UK, and BZ is all the way from Arizona.
Okay.
So GG Factory, they're from GG Sports Park in Truesdale. And MO, pardon me, because I'm Canadian, is that Missouri?
That is Missouri.
Thanks.
Although here's a little American key for you. If something ends with the word Dale, for some reason it's often in New Mexico. New Mexico loves to name their cities with the word Dale on the end. Don't know why.
All right, Joebar on your right, coming all the way from France.
GG Factory on the left.
Into the snake, but getting clipped.
That's unfortunate. That would have been a big move. GG doesn't have anything to oppose the snake right now. It's a shame they lost that player.
Yeah. There are several paths to get into the snake, and he just happened to choose the one they were laning, unfortunately. There are some good routes to get in there.
We'll talk about the field more, but I see this as a field that you can run just about anywhere you want. There's so many lane blockers.
Yeah, that was a one-time conversation, my friend. We don't bring up old business here. This is Joe. They're down 1 now.
Still 5 alive for GG Factory. They took less risks, and right now that's paying off. Joebar gets into the snake. No, and he loses it. So Joebar's game plan clearly is push the snake, which, you know, any logical team on this field should probably be doing that. But Joebar is willing to take more risks to attempt to make that happen. Yeah. So far, those risks are not paying off.
Joebar filling out to the snake corner, adamant to at least have possession of it. And coming from the stand-up can back home.
So that snake corner is a tough place to live when the Dorito, especially the Dorito 3 is hot. Right now, GG Factory's in Dorito 2. And he can blind fire into that snake corner if he's aware of it. You can live in that snake corner against the Doritos, but you got to put your body pretty much on the outside of the field and try to live behind your gun down the snake side. Right now, GG doesn't have any presence in the snake, so that Joebar player can go ahead and do exactly that. Put his body on the outside of that snake corner and live behind his gun. So we should be 5-on-3 at the moment. Yet to see our first flag of the day. That's kind of nice. Joebar aggressively moving up the snake. Even though they're down bodies, this might be the winning move.
Yeah, this snake is what pretty much opens the game all day yesterday. I'm sure it'll change over the course of the weekend.
I don't think GG Factory's.
Oh,
what a loss! That is the game decider, right? So Joebar had a chance there to actually pull this game out from a low body situation, but losing that 50 snake, probably lost their dreams on this one.
Yeah.
Should be 5-on-2 at the moment. So far, GG Factory just playing a better game of controlling lanes and controlling bumps and just winning gunfights. I gotta say, I do like the aggressiveness of Joebar, though. I'm a sucker for that kind of play. So if you show me a team that's willing to take chances and throw bodies, I'm going to root for that team.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing Joebar, but I definitely see one guy here at home. And
I believe they have the 50 on the Dorito side.
On the Dorito side, yeah.
I don't know what we want to call that. It's an interesting little holding pen where you kind of have to live in space if you want to go and play that side. Yeah, there he is. So that Joebar player is now crossed the 50 onto the Dorito side. Joebar's definitely playing a more aggressive game. Joebar player engaging in a gunfight down the Dorito side. He needs to win this gunfight to pull this game out. So if GG Factory is aware of the numbers, I'd like to see more aggression out of them at the moment. You know, and I say that, and one of them immediately runs to his death. Maybe you shouldn't listen to what I say.
Yeah, long point so far here. But here we go. We got Joebar coming up to the snake, passing the 50.
And down the Dorito side. They may be closing this out.
That's it. I already see Joebar on the other side of the face.
Wow, that's a 2-on-5 they just won. If I'm a coach right now in GG Factory, I'm probably chewing my players out. That is, how do we lose a 2-on-5? I mean, it's the first match of the day. This is against a team you probably don't have much scouting information, considering they're from France, but still. Yeah. You certainly have the scouting information on how the field plays. You should have been able to prevent that.
So point looks good. So that's going to take it a 1-0 lead by Joebar. Looks like Joebar, as I said, is from France.
Yes.
Sponsors MacDev, Virtue, and I can't read the writing of the of the player here. So there we go.
If you need help reading, we can work on that later.
Yeah. Seem to have some difficulty.
Is it written in American and you're used to reading Canadian? Is that the issue?
Well, we have 30% less letters.
Is that true?
We all write in shorthand. So back on the field, Indian and BZ Fearless. BZ on your right, Indians on your left.
Opposite. BZ on your right, Indians on the left. On the field.
Isn't that what I said? All right, so BZ losing a player right off the break.
Interesting looping secondary move from the Indian player. He goes from the back line, and he does kind of a looping run past the tower on the Dorito side into the wedge over there. Home player getting a check. Looks like he's called clean for Indians. The Indians doing a good job making their secondaries. They're now in the snake. They're in the snake side tower and the middle wedge.
Yeah, BC right now losing another body.
Down 3 on 5.
And they lose their
five.
snake defender there.
This is falling apart for Fearless real fast.
And that's it. Last player for BZ in the can.
First kill, though, for BZ. They do take a body, but it's going to be way too late. It's going to be 4 on 1. He's going to get swarmed. Yeah.
And that's it.
All right, so that match is going to go 1-1.
Très bien.
At the end.
Oh, well done.
Let's see if we got a clean hang over there. Ref signals as clean. So that match goes 1-1 at the moment. Good work coming back by the Indians.
Mm-hmm. Hey, when this match is over, ladies and gentlemen, Manawatu Titans are going to take on KC Missouri All-Stars, and Sacramento DMG will take on Vegas Golden Misfits.
Manawatu Titans traveling from literally the other side of the earth in Lord of the Rings country over there in New Zealand to come here and play, and they've been doing it all year. I shudder to think what their airline costs are to get to one of these events.
Zinger PB in the live chat says, love me some early morning paintball.
10 seconds.
Show Me Virtual says, let's go BTB.
All right, GG Joebar. GG Factory will be on our right. Joebar will be on our left. Joebar, much more aggressive team that last game, pulling out a 2-on-5.
GG Factory getting into the snake insert and into snake 1. All 5 bodies alive.
Joebar choosing to take that snake corner right off the bat, and that's going to pay some dividends here now that GG's into the snake. GG chooses to cross the 50. They're now into the Joebar side of the snake. I don't believe that Joebar has any awareness of this. He has a chance to pop up and pull out that Dorito 1 player who's not looking at him at all.
It's amazing how these teams react when they know there's somebody in the snake. All guns turn. Oh, you guys lose a player on Joebar.
1 player walking off the back line for Joebar. I'm not sure the GG player in the snake is willing to play offense. Looks like he's just trying to defend his life. He's clearly expecting to get bunkered. He's going to keep his gun up.
GG loses their Dorito corner while they move into the snake insert again.
So I'd like to see this GG snake player get more aggressive. He needs to get some kills quick.
Well, he's got a backer right now, a defender.
He's also got a Joebar player on the other side of the bunker from him. I don't think either one is aware. Now he's aware. Unfortunately, I think he got hit in the hopper from that juice box in the middle.
We lose another GG Factory player, and that was out of the tower defending the snake.
Ref calls him clean, so he's still alive in that snake. He's got to look over that Dorito. He might have a shot on the Dorito. They just made a push up the Dorito side, but I'm not sure. Here's the bunker coming.
And no one.
Clean bunkering.
Oh.
Clean bunkering, but it doesn't get too much further before he loses his life. That is a very good trade. I got no problem with that on behalf of Joebar. That's kind of what I said when I wanted to see that GG Factory player be a little more aggressive, trying to get kills when he crossed the 50. I knew that, he's on a time clock. Once they know he's there, they're not going to let him live there for much longer. GG Factory player getting a check at this snake brick. Ref calling it rub, puts it back in.
Well done. Billy in the chat is cheering for Joebar. Unfortunately, they just dropped that point, and that's going to tie it up.
So we just
1-1.
saw a flip of the styles there. The previous game, Joebar was a team that was a lot more aggressive, even when down bodies. This time, GG Factory was more aggressive, especially pushing up the snake side.
Yeah. So we had a tie match on both sides of the split deck. GG Factory and Joebar obviously just tied it up. They've got 8 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds.
Back on the field here, BZ Fearless and the Indians, 12 minutes on the clock. Wow, they had quick points this morning.
3 seconds.
Which is somewhat surprising. Generally, your first point of a match, you try to play a little bit more conservatively. At least that's the philosophy of most coaches. You don't want to lose that first match, so
10
that
seconds.
first point of a match, it sets a bad tone,
Yep.
and you're fighting from behind.
So there you can see Indians on your screen right now.
Game on.
BZ doubling up home. They make a big run out to the Dorito side.
Oh, look at us go. We are at and past the 50 now. Throwing that body away, see what he's
Yeah.
going to come up with.
He's going to take a walk.
He takes a walk, but he does manage to get two.
Two BZ Fearless players walking off. So I think we're down 4 on 3.
Indians
Favorite
filled with
Joebar-
50 snake
favorite
now.
Indians. Uh-oh. Nope.
Like-
Ref calling him clean. BZ making the move into the stake. That might be Steve Vinson. Not sure. So we're calling that Snake Wall 1 and Snake Wall 2, and then, of course, the Snake Brick.
So we have Indians all the way into Dorito 2. We still have back snake corner. We also still have the home. And I know I have a fourth somewhere.
Fearless in that Snake Wall 1. He's looking Dorito side. There's really nothing stopping him making a crawl, though, if he wants to go ahead and push up that snake. He can go really either an inside or an outside crawl right now if he'd like to. Get up to that snake brick, try to do some damage.
Yeah, Indians move back into the snake insert.
Yeah, so that window is now closed to do an outside move. There's a lot of windows that open and close in this game, folks. There'll be times where you have a chance to make a killer move, and if you wait for 5-10 seconds, the other team makes a move, maybe not even knowing that what they're doing is closing that window on you.
All right. I found one of my players, and he's walking off, unfortunately. Indians now going into snake 1. Into the 50 snake he goes.
They're ready to close this out. BZ player in the stake is not aware of how close danger is to him. Here's the move. Looks like it's a clean hit. Yeah, clean
And he's gonna
bunkering.
hang the flag at the same time.
Hit the buzzer.
Well done, Indians.
Good move.
So that's going to take the score 2-1 as long as he's marked clean. And he is.
So I am not going to pretend that I have a lot of knowledge on the French paintball scene, right? But what I've seen so far is teams playing aggressive. I like the style that I'm seeing out of both Indians and Joebar coming into this match. I am a sucker for aggressive play, even when sometimes it's stupid play, but I love that. And it's paying dividends. It's working for these French teams.
2 seconds.
You keep saying French so
Not
often,
French.
I'm craving like a croissant
A croissant.
or a freshly baked baguette right now.
Shall we have this poutine conversation again?
3 seconds.
Well, that's Canadian.
I know. Well, French. Were you a fan or not a fan?
A poutine?
Yeah. That's a shrug, folks. You can't see it
I've
at home.
maybe
That was
had
a
it
shrug.
once or twice in my life. I don't like cheese curds, so for me, just fries and gravy are fine. Yeah.
Not willing to support the dairy industry of Canada. You heard it here first,
Yeah.
folks.
Hate dairy.
He'll be a pariah when he comes home.
Okay, so Joebar on the right side of your screen, 5 bodies alive. Only 2 guns up off the break, though.
GG right up the middle into that wedge. Unfortunately, they're going to lose their snakeside tower. So it'll be 4 on 5. Now, the GG factory player in that middle wedge, I'd love to see him try to bounce over here to this snakeside wedge up the middle. That would give him really, really great control of the snake and pretty much shut down any attempt for Joebar to get in there and do damage.
Joebar just moved up. We have both tall towers loaded up.
By the way, that, in my opinion, that tower over there on the Dorito side, as soon as the snake gets hot, you got to get out of there. That tower is toast.
Yeah.
If any of the snake bunkers get hot,
It's
especially
really just a feeder system into the Doritos, but they already have Dorito 1, which is good. And Joebar moves up into the laydown wedge, the juice box, sorry, on the snake side.
GG Factory's clearly committed more resources to the Dorito side. Their players are shifting that way on their secondaries, and they really don't have anybody in a great position to try to take the snake over here.
Oh, we lose our first Joebar player, and that was what was going to be our snake insert, but the back snake corner explodes into the snake 50 all the way down to the tape line because it was uncontested.
And at the same time, a GG Factory player walks off, another GG Factory player walking off, it's falling apart. And we are in the splash zone. First time of the day, folks. Oh, what a loss. The Joebar player lost that gunfight with the Dorito.
Yep, they both walked into it, unfortunately.
Oh, man. So are we going to see a reverse of what happened a couple points ago? This time Joebar is going to be up big on bodies and lose the game?
Could be. Joebar all on the Dorito side of the field right now. Nothing on the snake, nor do you have anybody on your side of the snake.
Nothing on this. So GG Factory over there on the Dorito 2 and in that middle wedge. Big move through the middle, though.
Oh.
Takes a walk.
So I have 2 Joebar plays.
Yeah, it's 2-on-1 at the moment.
Yeah.
Joebar back on the offensive. GG Factory player tries to make a run down the tape side on the Doritos. Does not work out. I'm okay with that risk.
Yep.
I think we've talked about this. When you know that you're the last player and you're a down body situation, maybe 1-on-2, 1-on-3, you have a little bit of a window where you can do something crazy. And if you wait too long and the other team figures out where you are, they'll lock you down.
Yep.
So if you're going to take a risk, do it fast.
All right.
Well, Joebar was able to play defense that time. So the previous game, they went down big on bodies, and they still kept going offense, and they managed to pull it out. This time they went down on bodies, played some defense, and then managed to pull it out. So slightly different game, worked out the same way. Indians Fearless taking the field.
30 seconds.
We're going to have Fearless on our right, Indians on the left.
Right.
We'll take a second to shout out Mikhail, the ultimate ref in this field, and his crew. He's worked this field for a while, and I'm pretty happy with what I've seen out of them reffing.
Adam Stewart wanted to know if we could hear the calls from Joebar, if we could hear them yelling in French.
I would just mutilate the words if I tried to relay them, so I'm not going to bother.
Yeah. There was a Zoutalor in there somewhere. All right.
Indians on our left, they're doubled up the home. They do make a move out to that snake wall 1. It's a big move. Frankly, he can drop and crawl almost anywhere he wants to as long as he goes on the inside path.
Losing first BZ player, Fearless player. He was the farthest up the field in the center. And he's been pulled. Another BZ walking off the field. Another BZ walking off the field.
Oof, it's falling apart quick, so it's 5-on-2.
Yeah. And all those kills seem to have come from the Dorito side.
Indian player getting a check on the snake. He's called clean. No. I think he just lost a gunfight. And that was exactly what we talked about earlier. The snake player has to look into the sun if he wants to look Dorito side at this time of day. And he lost that gunfight. Escobar, I believe is his name. I probably shouldn't call out player names after they lose a gunfight. They probably don't want me doing that.
Yeah. So BZ trying to defend the field from Dorito 1 right now.
We also have a BZ player at home.
We have Indians on the BZ side of the field, right in the center, looking to making a run up.
Oh, nice shot. Stevenson from the home. I believe that's Stevenson for Fearless. He's about to get bunkered. Well, good play nonetheless.
Oh, we just got some major penalties being hung or thrown, and that is on the Indians. So they pulled one already.
So that was an excellent play by what I believe is Steve Inzone, right? He managed to pick out the snake player just seconds before a bunkering attempt on him, and I'm fairly certain that bunkering attempt is what draw the major.
Yeah, I agree. So there's going to be one last BZ Fearless player, but it doesn't matter because the major finished that off.
We're going to find out here in a second. I'll have a talk with our ultimate ref, Mikhail, see if they have enough bodies to fill that penalty.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be watching Semi-Pro Paintball all morning here. We are live from 2023's World Cup of Paintball here in Kissimmee, Florida.
20 seconds.
All right, I just got a little conversation with Mikhail, our ultimate ref. So Indians are going to have to start down a body. For that. Not only do they lose that point, they're going to have to start down 4 on 5.
Okay, GG Factory, 3 guns up.
Joebar,
one in the snake, made it all the way in and up to the 50.
Joebar attempting to take the snake, loses his life just on the slide in.
Sorry, GG stopped shy at Snake 2. And he's going to feast across the field if he gets an opportunity here. If he goes up another knuckle, he may be able to battle with some of the Dorito side, but he has the tall tower shooting down on him.
I believe we're at 4 on 4 at the moment.
I did not see a GG Factory walk up the field, but if you did,
well,
I see one.
He ran so fast, he blurred right past your vision.
Okay, so it's I have 3 GG players left right now.
So 4 on 3 in favor of the French team.
3 on 2 now. Sorry, I have only 2 bodies left, is what I meant to say there.
Yeah.
I have 1 snake and 1 kind of in the home row in the tall can.
Joebar really not in any position to push the snake at the moment. They don't have any bodies lined up to do it. Perhaps their backline can could work his way into it. Big move up to that snake 50. So GG Factory has a chance to wrap here, do some damage, or drop to the backside and look for Dorito kills. He immediately blows up the can on the backside. Now he's going to go hunting on the home. On that tower, on the tower. Big move from that GG Factory player, immediately paying dividends. 2 kills. He's now getting good return fire from the Dorito side. So it's really just the corner for Joebar trying to salvage this situation.
Yeah. GG moving up into the snake.
Yeah, he's figured out. In that situation, you can drop and crawl anywhere you want. There's really nothing Joebar can do about it.
Yeah. I would like to see the other GG Factory player come up and put a little bit more pressure on him.
Well, by pressure, do you mean killing him? Because I think that's what he just did.
Nice. Very well done. So GG's going to go in and hang that flag. This may be a tie match if they manage to get this one clean. And only 3.5 minutes left on the clock, and we're got a tie now, ladies and gentlemen.
So taking a look at this field, in my observation, there is a bit of a lane that you have to run through at that last 5 feet, let's say, trying to get into the snake on the run out. There's a lot of blocking bunkers on this field that actually make it difficult for home shooters. But if a home shooter wants to take a big step to the snake side and kind of stand in the open and shoot, he can put a lane into that slide, that diving area that you got to take to get into the snake.
Yeah, we're also getting a lot of runners. Yesterday ran straight to the snake corner, paused and ran up, and that seemed to work out as well. A couple other players ran straight up the gut, and then at the last moment turned and ran into the snake that way.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different paths to get into the snake. It's just which lane are you going to try to shoot for, if you're the opposite player.
And I'm just throwing conjecture here, but there's also maybe a way that you can play with time, right? So to get that shot I was just mentioning, trying to shoot that last 5 feet, that somebody diving into the snake, you have to essentially stand out in space. You can't just tuck right up against the home bunker if you're a home gunner. And that means you're probably not going to stand there for very long. If within the first 2 or 3 seconds somebody's not diving through that lane, you're going to abandon that assignment and either go back to home or maybe bump out to some other bunker, right? So if you want to get into the snake, maybe another approach is take that off-the-break run but delay somewhere. Delay just for a couple seconds and let that gunner give up on the fact that you're going in and then dive in.
Yep.
Just a thought.
Yep.
3 seconds.
So Indians on your right, BZ on your left. One thing we haven't seen this morning a lot of, and we've seen some, but yesterday it was riddled with penalties. Those flags are flying almost every point.
Yeah.
We've saw a couple now. Maybe the refs are warmed up.
Yeah.
But the players were definitely getting some good penalties yesterday.
All right, so 4-on-5 for the Indians versus BZ. BZ unfortunately loses a player almost immediately, so it's going to go back to 4-on-4.
All right, Indians moving all the way up past the 50.
Again, the aggression out of these French teams, I like it. I really like it.
Well, if you're going to take a risk for a player, make it worth his while, right?
Yeah.
And he did manage to get at least one player.
Ref reaching for a flag. He pulls a major. That is going to just clean BZ right off the field. I suspect that was for that middle play, that whatever just occurred there.
But you know what? Again, these explosive pushes by the French teams, look what it just caused.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, maybe he traded, but out of that melee came a penalty.
So there's one fearless player trying to live in that D1 over there. He's going to have to pull off something amazing if he wants to win this point.
Well, right now I'm down on bodies. I believe I have one or two. Yes, I have two Indian players right now that I can see.
Well, maybe less amazing than I thought. I didn't see all those Indian players walk off. Indian players really hunting around. I don't think they know exactly where the fearless player is.
Well, we only started with 4.
Yep.
Lost 2. But even with down a body, they still sent their torpedo down the middle and opened it up.
You know what? As a game plan, if you're down on bodies, maybe you got to do something crazy. And it, well, the game's not over yet, but it looks like it paid some dividends there for Indians.
Yeah.
So if I'm the fearless player, I don't know whether I drop back or just stay and fight it out. Another approach is maybe go silent, hope that Indians lose track of them, and then you can pick up a kill while they try to walk past you. That's the coward's way of playing paintball. I fully endorse it. But it's clear the Indians don't know where he is or even whether he's alive. They're playing very cautious right now. Oh, I think a ref just went in to check the fearless player. That's rough. If that's what gave him away, especially when he wasn't hit, that's rough. The ref's got to do their job. I'm not certainly blaming the ref, but it's rough when you get when you're in a sneaky situation and a ref runs in and does a check.
So Indians moved up to the 50 to Snake as well as Dorito 3.
Now they know where he is. D2. Fearless playing the D2. The D2 is not angled real well for this gunfight either. It's kind of flat to the back line. So it's going to be a little bit tough to live there. He's dead.
So, yeah, and I think the Indian player is having a problem with his gun right now.
So we'll talk about the Dorito side real quick. Dorito 1 is angled in such a way that you can live against the snake being hot, as long as you don't get caught unaware, right? You know, the snake pops up, you're just not looking that way. But if you know the snake is hot, you can tuck in and live against it. D2, still, you're moving upfield a little bit. It's a little bit harder to live against the snake, but you can live against it. D3, where the bunker is basically flat, back to the back line, it's a tough place to live if you're trying to gunfight with a snake. Not impossible, but a little bit tougher.
50 seconds.
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, that's going to put BZ down 2-3.
3 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, so BZ with 4 minutes and 40 seconds on their clock. No, 3-2.
10 seconds.
Joebar against GG Factor. The game is tied 2-2, and there's only about 3.5 minutes on the clock.
Game on.
It's very likely they can
Look
get
at that. Joebar getting hit out of the snake. He ran to the corner that I had just mentioned, but he got laned out, so we're down to 4.
That's a little surprising death because it's not where I would dedicate a gun if I was making a breakout plan for my team and where to put a lane. Oh, there's a minor. Not good for GG. You're going to see 3 GG players walk off all at the same time. It guts their snake side. So they just have 2 players left alive over there on the Dorito side. Dorito 1 and the backline can on the Dorito side.
And here we go, a little bit of an explosive move by Joebar. They moved up to fill the second tower and also into the snake.
He could crawl all the way to their end right now if he wanted to. As long as he stays low, there's nothing that GG can do about it.
Yeah.
Pop up, look Dorito side.
Yeah, he needs to get up and around that knuckle to be able to see the Dorito, and if he does, it's his shot.
Yeah, which is, as you say it, he does it. He's listening.
There we
And
go.
immediately gets that kill. And that's it. They towel out.
Point approved.
So, speaking of that, by the way, what you were just mentioning, there's a lot of blind shots in this field. I listen to a lot of teams that like to talk about bounce shots into bunkers. I'm not a big fan
There's
of
a
those.
lot of bounce shots from that tower into the snake,
But-
and it just bounces around, and we've seen
drops
success
on.
of that yesterday, yeah.
But I also see on this field a lot of blind shots that you should know about. If you've walked the field correctly, you should know if I'm in this bunker and I just arc a stream over that bunker, I should be putting a stream right into bunker number C, letter C.
3 seconds.
For me, the one I see the most is definitely the snake corner area is vulnerable to some blind shots over there from the Dorito side. Same thing, actually. If you can get up into the Dorito side 50, you can blind shot into the God or that snake corner.
Game on.
All right, so BZ Fearless losing their first player off the break. They had at least 3 guns up off the break as well.
Indians 5 strong. One of them's getting a check, though, and yes, he gets pulled, so we're back to 4-on-4. Indians just lost their God bunker, which we're calling the last mini temple that can get you into the snake. Indians starting to fill up the middle. Billington and Escobar walking off for both teams.
I believe Escobar is busy somewhere else right now.
Well, talking about Pablo, he's not doing up to much these days.
So we have 4 BZ Fearless players. 3 of them are shooting snake side.
Yeah, Indians trying to control the entrance to the snake right now. I'm sorry, Joebar. There we go. Good bump for Fearless into that snake wall 1. At the same time, one of the Indian players taking a walk from the center. So now should be 4-on-3. Fearless also in a better position to go ahead and push the snake and finish this game. So, having walked that field right now, this snake wall 1 for Fearless, he could drop and crawl to the inside, get into the cover of those snake beams, and just go, 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 go. Bump outside by the Indians. They're trying to get to that snake corner. Try to slow down the snake push. Unfortunately, that snake corner cannot control the entirety of the snake. He can look down the tape side, but he can't really do anything about a crawl down the middle.
BZ Fearless is the team right now that needs the point. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. They've got good field position. To me, their body language is just sort of locking it down. How many people do you have on the Indians team right now?
I'm seeing at least 3 live.
Okay.
Looks like they got the 2 towers.
So they're not really capitalizing on that right now.
We've got the snake corner.
Oh, we just lose another body for the Indians, it looks like.
Yeah, snake tower.
No,
snake
he's clean.
corner, D1. Yeah, the ball is in Fearless's court. They've got to push.
Yeah.
They're down to 2 minutes.
But they're also not rushing right now.
Yeah.
They haven't start progressing up the field. Although, as I say that, we have Snake 1 now. We also have the center lay down wedge at the 40.
So we've seen the Indians play aggressive. Now they're going to play defensive. Let's see how good they are at it. Unfortunately, as I say that, they lose their tower. So it's now just 2 players left alive for Indians. D1 and that snake corner. That snake corner is not a great place, in my opinion, to try to live against multiple guns.
All right, so we're down at the minute and a half right now.
Fearless needs a sense of urgency. There we go. Somebody taking the ball and running with it.
Yeah, BZ seems to be good with their clock management.
Good push down the Dorito side. That may have cleared it out. Yeah, BZ Fearless pushes down the Dorito side, finishes the game. They're going to hit the buzzer. I take back all the bad things I said about the sense of urgency. They did it. Now they did it with 1:15 left on the clock. Game is going to be tied up. I talked about this earlier. I think there's so many lane blockers that if you want to run on this field off the break, you can really almost get anywhere. So when you're in a situation where there's not much time on the clock, I could see both of these teams throwing a really aggressive run up the field game plan.
Well, I think we're going to see those explosive rockets being thrown by the Indians. Well, they've done it before to some success. They just didn't do it at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's a question of what do they want to do. Do they want to play for the tie, or do they want to take the risk of the loss and push for the win?
Minute 14 is a long time
Yeah,
to
plenty.
be defending. So back to the field, Joebar and GG Factory. GG Factory will be on your right, Joebar on your left. Oh, the score widget's up so you can see where they are.
Joebar gets into that snake insert bunker, the little mini temple. Looks like they're getting ready to push.
So 5 bodies alive for both teams, it seems.
Both sides.
If GG Factory cannot get any penalties here.
2 minutes on the clock. So Joebar doing the smart thing. They got their, what we're calling the God bunker, that last mini temple. And his job right now, clearly, is to prevent GG from getting into the snake. And he's just dedicated his gun to doing that.
Yep.
That's a very important role right now. Because if GG's going to win this in a minute and a half, they need that snake. Especially on this particular layout, if you get into the snake, you can pretty much crawl upfield. Even when the other team is trying to prevent you, there's not a lot of great shots down into that snake from most of this field. Joebar doing a great job slowing down that snake side push.
The sun is starting to get a little higher. It's starting to be a little better. Even in the last 20 minutes, it's improved quite a bit. Hopefully that's helping the teams out there. GG Factory moves up.
They've only got a minute on the clock. There we go. Starting to put together a little bit of aggression. 2 Joebar players walking off at the same time. This is an opening. GG Factory has a chance, but they've got to push. 45 seconds on the clock. They cannot be sitting here behind their guns. Another Joebar player walking off. That leaves the home and Dorito 1. It's a decent cross they can hold, especially with only 30 seconds on the clock. Don't stop. Go, go, go. Trade. All Joebar players dead.
That might have been a penalty.
There it is. There's
major.
a major flying. I suspect that major's on GG Factory.
No, it's on Joebar.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure.
It was a spin from the home player?
I think it's the last player,
Okay.
yeah.
The home player from Joebar got up, histrionically. I shouldn't use big words, but he was very upset.
Hysterectomy? I don't think you're using that right.
Histrionics? Anyways, I shouldn't use big words. And he seemed to think that the penalty should be on GG. Of course, every paintball player thinks the penalty should be on the other team.
Mm-hmm. So points approved. So that penalty wasn't on them. It was on. It must have been on Indians for sure.
So either way, under 60 seconds, a major ends the point, right? So the point was going to be approved no matter. As soon as that red flag flew, there's a point going to be approved.
Yeah.
So there we go. It looks like it's going to be tied up. Now the question is, Joebar might have to start down two because if they didn't have any bodies alive at the end, they got a major. The clock stops instantly. We may be looking at them starting the next point with 2 bodies.
Which isn't bad with the 22-second
3
point,
bodies.
right? All Joebar has to do is hold it down and for 22 seconds. So even if they're good time to be down bodies.
Yeah, true. With the clock, the clock situation is in their favor. It's
So-
hard to even run the length of the field under gunfire in 20 seconds.
So Indians going up the middle and over into the snake, getting in successfully. Having gun issues already, though.
Looks like Fearless is content to play for the clock. I don't see the kind of aggression that tells me they're going to try to win this point. They just don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
We're under 60 seconds, so again, any major penalty is an instant game stopper.
Yeah. Indians player also having gun problems at home again. Seems to be working now, but off the break it was down.
BZ player takes a walk. Another BZ player taking a walk. I believe that's Steve. Oh my God, it is falling apart fast.
Indians have lost one.
There's a chance here. They got 30 seconds. They got to take out that corner.
And
I
he
think
did.
they just did. Wow.
So
Great.
25 seconds left.
As long as he's clean, this is a
But
great
I wouldn't
win
push
for
the
the
button. Wait
Indians.
on pushing the button. Wait on pushing that button.
Yep. Get it under 10.
Towel being called.
Fearless is going to towel out. I think they
job.
could have toweled out about 5 seconds earlier on
Yeah,
this one.
good call. But either way, they toweled it.
Yeah. But that's going to be difficult. 15 seconds, they realistically can't. They realistically cannot tie this matchup with only 15 seconds on the clock. It would take a bit of a miracle.
Well, the discussion yesterday was Chad Boucher and his 7-second point that had happened previous, not right now, not yesterday.
Run the length of the field in 7 seconds.
Apparently, he got a point. Houston, he got a point in 7 seconds, and
That's
it was Boucher that ran it. So
did he get a false start? I couldn't run this field in 30 seconds.
yeah.
Wow. Hey, good for him for investing in that Harry Potter invisibility cloak. Yeah. Nice move.
Nice to see people watching from Argentina. We have your comments loaded up. If you guys want to give some shout-outs, let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for.
Joebar on the left, GG Factory being aggressive.
So tie match here, 20 seconds.
Right up the snake 50, right through the middle. GG Factory is just sending it. Uh-oh.
Oh.
There's going to be... Nope, no flag? Yes, there's a minor. Minor thrown.
Doesn't matter. We're down to 1 second. As long as there's no majors in the air.
So, by the way, that is a risk. If you're going to be that aggressive about flying downfield, you risk majors. And when you risk majors under 60 seconds, in this situation, they could have just lost the whole match for it.
Yep.
But there you go. Hey, at least GG Factory went for it. Give them credit. They didn't just sit back. They went for it. So that match is going to end 3-3. Looks like Fearless and Indians. There's 15 seconds on the clock. It seems unlikely we're going to see any difference in 15 seconds. Please prove me wrong. For ratings, if nothing else, please prove me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, 15 seconds and doing it cleanly could be difficult.
Yeah. So after this point, we're going to go on break, and then we're going to come back with Manawatu Titans versus KC Missouri All-Stars and Sacramento DMG versus the Vegas Golden Misfits.
Show Me Virtual says, cheering for Tiger Stripe hoodies only. Yes, we're going to have to issue some more. I think for Christmas there'll be a limited run of Behind the Bunker Tiger Stripe hoodies for those that are looking. Or if I do that, they won't be as elusive anymore.
Oh, so you want the collector's value on it?
Yeah. That's a really limited edition, right? So
makes a great gift for friends and family. There, do I get cut in on the sales?
No, it gets great. It's not great for friends and family. It's great for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm done buying for other people. Thanks.
Do we have Behind the Bunker gift cards that you can buy for friends and family? It'll get you podcast points that you can spend.
No, but you can buy our Pogs, our limited edition Pogs, and trade them.
Wait, is Pogs that little flip game with the little coins?
I think so, yeah. I just remember them being... Yeah.
Yep, we're showing our age here.
So, 15 seconds.
So, if I'm the Indians, I just put a ton of guns right up the middle. Because there's no way else that Fearless can make it to your box except running basically a straight line.
Yeah.
Right? In 15 seconds, there's not a lot of running paths you can take. You pretty much have to just go right up the middle.
I would love to see Joebar sending at least one or two up the middle. Indians, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm looking at body language. Unfortunately, I see shooters and not all runners for Fearless.
Yeah, one aggressive to the 50.
That's not enough.
And they lose a body.
Yeah. Good push up the middle. It's not going to be enough, not with 5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. 6 seconds, 2 seconds.
Okay, let me give Fearless some credit. They had players within about 15, 16 yards, meters of the flag station. That was more than I thought. I saw too many body languages at the breakout that I thought were shooters and not runners. But they managed to make it work almost.
Andy in the live chat is rooting for Greenville Growl this weekend. This being World Cup, there are a ton of teams. I had quoted yesterday over 700 teams, but we looked last night, and I believe it's under 7, actually. It's 6 something.
That's still crazy.
It's still, I was disappointed when I looked at that because both of us looked at it the other day, and it was, we thought it was more. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are tuning in right now, this is live paintball coverage of World Cup 2023. And this game is now complete.
No, we are going to go to overtime, I'm told.
Oh, are we going to go to overtime? It said game stopped. I questioned it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the refs are still on the field.
Okay, then let's
Yeah,
do an
we're going
overtime
overtime.
point here.
I was under the impression that we weren't doing overtimes for prelims, but I could be wrong. All right.
Well, I'm happy to see an overtime point.
Yeah, 5 minutes on the clock. GG Factory versus Joebar. Who's your money on? Let's start making wild and unsustainable picks.
Well, since I've seen Joebar extensively, meaning one
More than I have.
one point today, I don't know. GG Factory just has a fire lit underneath them right now. I think GG's going to pull it out.
Think so?
I wouldn't put it past Joebar, but like GG. Well, hold on. Let me think this because they have 5 minutes on the clock. I don't know. Joe may pick them apart.
Joebar just took a timeout. I like what I've seen out of Joebar so far this match. They have the ability to play offense, defense. They have the ability to drop into a defensive mode, dig it out, and flip back around to playing offense. I really like what I've seen out of them. Be careful with what I'm about to say, okay? Let me, for you at home, please go ahead. Fill the comment thread with how much of an idiot I am. I'm used to that. But they do kind of remind me of Paintball Fit in that manner. So Paintball Fit, one of the most remarkable things I've seen out of them this season is how often they would go down in bodies and then just magically find a way to turn the whole thing around and win the game anyways. Yep. And I've seen a little bit of that out of Joebar this match. Let's dial it back a little bit with the comparisons.
Yep.
But there's a little bit of that magic there.
Hey, Sam is asking, where can I find the Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedules? If you go to a website called pbleagues.com, maybe someone could post up the link in the live chat there, pbleagues.com, and follow the links. There's a live scoreboard, there's schedules, there's lists of teams. All the information about the event is there. And you can follow along at home. You can know when your teams are playing. If you guys are looking for specific teams, much like the Titans and the All-Stars, Sacramento and Golden Misfits, they're scheduled for 7:55. We are a few minutes off of that because this overtime. So you're going to want to be at least 5 to 10 minutes early because sometimes we're actually ahead of schedule. So don't miss your teams. Tune in and log in before the game start. Also, of course, all of this is going up on YouTube. So if you can't see it at the time that it's up, you can go back and rewatch it any time.
I'm legally required to say likes, click and subscribe.
Well, your lines are better. Mine is smash that
like button.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now the latest thing, because I do watch a lot of YouTube, is make sure you like and comment for the algorithm.
Oh, yeah, that's been going on for a while. So, yeah, they largely determine...
No, but the creators are using that phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a YouTube channel, right? And have you seen any drop in viewership since they enacted this ad block ban? I don't know if more or less people have just said, screw it, I'm not
No,
going
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, our channel steadily increases, and so I don't
10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't notice that. But I also don't have 6 million subs, right? So
the fluctuation's a little more subtle.
Yes, exactly.
All right, here we go. Overtime. Joebar on my right, GG Factory on my left. Both teams with a clean breakout, so 5-on-5. I do see good secondaries out of GG Factory. By secondaries, I mean they're making their bumps. They're going ahead and moving up after their initial. Oh, and as I say that, a GG Factory player coming off from the Doritos side.
Yeah. See, you don't need to be too aggressive. You've still got 5 minutes. This is an overtime point with 5 minutes, so that's why I like how Joebar got the. You know, they're 5 alive. They're in their bunkers. They're shooting their paint. They're shooting their lanes.
By the way, if we have any French viewers, please jump on and tell us the correct pronunciation. It could be Joebar. It could be Joe Bart or Joe Bar. I'm just an ignorant American.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the game has settled down a little bit, which makes sense. It's overtime. This is winner takes all. So especially once GG lost a player, they went a little bit more conservative. They do have a player that's in position to make a bump into the snake. Matter of fact, both teams do, but both teams are going to be conservative about how they try to attack.
Anthony Fernandez in live chat says, hello, everyone from Spain. It's pretty fun to watch paintball at this level with good commentators. So thank you for the comments.
Thank you.
It may be the only good comment we get about our commentating this weekend, but we appreciate it.
We just peaked.
And Connor's logging in from Australia. Ooh. Nice.
Is the broadcast upside down on his screen? I'm not sure
No,
how that
but he
works.
knows the finals already.
Yeah, he's ahead.
Okay, so still Joebar with 5 bodies alive, now making the snake corner push, but getting eliminated on that.
Would that even be considered aggressive or defensive, dropping back to that snake corner?
That's a good way to enter the snake, so I would
Yeah.
say offensive.
So GG Factory, I love that they have a presence over there in that juice box.
Haha,
on
you
the
love
snake side.
GG Factory.
I think that is exactly the guy who just shot the player running to the corner.
Okay,
And
so
he's-
Joebar also, moved up, so that's going to change everything over there.
Joebar is going to have a nearly impossible time getting into that snake as long as that juice box is still hot for GG Factory. So they've got to push Doritos side if they want to win.
GG.
Oop, taking a walk for GG player off that D1, taking a walk.
Okay, so Joebar at the 50 doing some damage then. Oh, I do lose 2 Joebar
Oof.
players.
All right, that GG Factor player in the juice box still staying on assignment, still preventing that bump in. He is at real risk from that Dorito side, though. Oh, the Joebar player is out of paint. He's desperately searching for anything left in any of his teammates' pods. That is a big deal. He's going to be musket playing for the rest of this game. He's just going to be able to shoot 1 ball at a time or something.
So is it 2-on-2? 2-on-1.
Right, I've got the home and this juice box kind of up the middle for GG Factory. More importantly, I've got pods on their back. Maybe a game-winning.
I have
Factor.
1 Joebar player.
There we go. So three alive. I'm sorry for GG Factory. They're now in the snake.
Do they know where Joebar is? I don't think so. They're looking. Oh,
Player walking off for GG.
that's it. GG has cleaned the field, checking it, and he's going to hang the flag.
Boy,
With a minute 16 left, that was good.
what a situation to be in if you're the Joebar player. Overtime, you're the last player left alive, and you're scrounging pods trying to find paint left over from teammates. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I was just thinking, is it Joebart, as we're calling it, or would it be Joebar?
That's why I'm admitting to ignorance. I don't know.
Yeah, same, and I apologize if we're saying it wrong. We're reading it photonetically.
All right, well, congratulations to GG Factory. They take that one. And in the previous match, I believe it was it Fearless took the previous match? I've lost track.
Yes.
Like early onset Alzheimer's. It's showing up now.
Yeah, I did not write it down, and I'm sorry I don't remember.
No worries. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for tuning into that match. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back with more international paintball action. Thank you so much. See you in a minute.